Latest in breaking news, in St. Thomas, Jamaica.
Another community has been placed under quarantine. There has been increased security presence and medical teams in Bamboo River near Church Corner in the parish of St. Thomas. Earlier today, a quarantine was also imposed in Sandy Bay, Clarendon. The measures were imposed following increases in coronavirus cases in these communities. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement of the imposition of the quarantine measure while speaking at a COVID-19 press conference at Jamaica House, where he also announced that 30 new cases of COVID-19 within the last 24 hours have pushed the country's total number of confirmed cases to 958. Health and Wellness Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, indicate the name of the community when he addresses the press conference. The St. Thomas community joined Sandy Bay in Clarendon, which was placed under a 2-week quarantine, also effective August 6, following a spike in COVID-19 cases in that community, which has been linked to a church there. Prosecute me, says Hannah as PM warns home quarantine breakers. The opposition member of parliament for South East St. Anne, Lisa Hannah, has warned the government to be careful how it moves to prosecute Jamaicans who have been found to be in breach of quarantine orders, thus putting others at risk of contracting COVID-19. Hannah's caution came after Prime Minister Andrew Holness told the House of Representatives on Tuesday that he has asked the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, to exercise greater vigilance in monitoring the significant number of Jamaicans not observing home quarantine orders. A majority of the roughly 55,000 people expected to arrive in the country under the controlled re-entry program in July are Jamaicans who are subjected to a 2-week home quarantine on arrival. The number is up from 12,000 who arrived in June after the government reopened the country's borders. Currently, a little over 20,000 people should be under quarantine at home. Holness told the House that he was concerned that a number of persons are not strictly observing the orders. And I've asked the JCF to charge persons who are found to be in breach, he stated. From the reports I've seen, our returning Jamaicans are not observing the quarantine. They're moving about and we're seeing the pictures on Facebook and Instagram. So unless you can prove to us that those pictures were taken 2 or 3 years ago, they become very good evidence for prosecution, Holness warned. We will increase our prosecution of persons who are not observing the quarantine, and this would be fair notice, Holness said. He disclosed that 50 cases of breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act are now under investigation and nearing completion. The Prime Minister said the first set of charges are expected in the coming days. All the successes we have had thus far can be undone by just one superspreader, as has been the case in many other countries, Holness noted. However, Hannah told the House that while she and other MPs may not have travelled, most are in breach of the protocols and orders that have been put in place to limit the spread of the coronavirus on the island. I'm guilty. Let me just tell no straight, Hannah declared as she responded to the Prime Minister. She explained that sometimes, when I go into my constituency, when the crowd come down and say MP, you can't tell a constituent, yo, back up. You can say look, social distance, back up, but there's still something in the psyche of our people that before you open your mouth everybody comes down, and I think we need to be a little bit more conscious. Hannah said that as it relates to prosecution, she understood the need to have people being compliant. However, she cautioned further that those of us who have to be among people, and when other persons see us on social media, for instance, and they say why aren't you doing this and what are you doing out there in the crowd, I don't think ordinary Jamaican people understand that, as members of parliament, we are the interlocutors and sometimes the conduits that prevent social mayhem, because people can actually touch and feel our presence when they have nobody else to go to. Repeating that she was guilty of breaches, such as taking off her mask in public and not practicing social distancing when she is, for example, crowded by a group of children who are anxious to see her, Hannah said. Prosecute me. She said she did not want an unfair situation where the municipal police, in their bid to enforce the law, apply it disproportionately by coming down hard on her people, constituents, while others like herself go free. Please remember to hit the subscribe button. If you subscribe, I will most definitely continue making all types of videos for you. I do put in lots of efforts to make my subscribers happy, and I possess lots of skills to bring you a variety of videos. Thank you kindly for your support, Mr. E. Facey.